Hello. In this lesson, we'll be looking at some useful tips and some common pitfalls traders face. So let's look at the first tip. Never trade options during expiry week. Now, options expire the last Thursday of every week. Do not trade when we are about 7 days away. This includes Saturday and Sunday. Since we are only buying options in this method, the effect of time decay is extremely predominant on our trades, especially the last 7 days before expiry day. And under no circumstance should you buy options during the last week. Instead, you could either use an option writing strategy, if you know one, or you could buy the next month contract, so the time decay doesn't actually affect your premium. Tip number 2. Trade only liquid contracts. Now, option contracts are quite unique in the sense that you can have multiple contracts in multiple strike prices for a single symbol. In India, most contracts, unfortunately, are not very liquid. So make sure before you put on a trade that your contracts are liquid. A good benchmark for liquidity is Nifty, Bank Nifty, and even Reliance. Some well-known blue-chip companies can have as low as 50 contracts traded during a day. For example, look at this options quote from National Stock Exchange's website of Kane India's option contract. You'll notice it has only one contract traded so far, and the previous day was the same. Now, this is definitely an options contract you would not want to trade. So the question is, what stocks can you trade? That brings us to the next tip. Tip number 3. Have a stock list. Keep a stock watch list. A quick way to do this is to see the most active contracts on nseindia.com. Here, once you're on the NSE website, you can select most active contracts from the drop-down menu. You will then reach the most active securities page. Click on the drop-down and select the most active contracts and select stock options over here. And there you are. The most active contracts of the day are in front of you. It's a good starting point to keep this in handy because this keeps changing. Generally, Nifty, Bank Nifty, Reliance, Axis Bank, and Tata Motors are some stocks which are quite liquid. But keep in mind, the list keeps on changing, barring Nifty and Bank Nifty, which are usually always liquid and active. Tip number 4. Keep your trades small. Now, I know it is tantalizing. An option contract costs only a few thousand rupees, and you feel like investing your entire capital. This is incorrect. To keep your trades small is the key. The first thing traders do when they discover options is invest all or most of their capital on a single trade. A 30% return on a trade is not return on your entire capital. We always invest a small portion of the capital in a trade. For example, if your capital was say 2 lakh rupees, we would recommend you to not lose more than 1 to 2%. That is 2 to 3,000 rupees per trade. And let's say a trade that you want to enter costs rupees 6,500 to get in. And let's say your stop is 30% away. You are risking about 30% of 6,500. That's 1950. That's right under our 1% limit of risk. Perfect. You can have multiple trades running and still not lose more than 1% on a single trade. Therefore, if your capital is 2 lakhs, don't lose more than 1%. That's 2,000 per trade. Adjust this to your capital size. That brings us to the next tip. Now, this is where I'll admit it takes a little bit of experience in front of the screen to get this right. Take a look at these swing high breaks. Do you think any of them inspire confidence? As soon as the bar broke the swing high, it immediately reversed. The selling pressure was too much. We are buying a swing high because it shows confidence. But if you can't see that on the chart, don't trade these trades. This includes a huge abnormal spike in the charts that you may get once in a while too. Look for strong, healthy bars. When in doubt, stay away. So that's it. Spend the next 2 weeks backtesting the system and paper trading it by keeping a note of the trades in your notepad. Once your understanding is crystal clear, you will know when to begin. Be sure to trade with really small amounts first. Of course, Trade Academy and other fellow traders will be there to answer any of your questions in the discussions below. I'll see you again soon.